after small intestine. What happens after digestion? After digestion, there is first part is digestion, and after digestion, there is absorption. Means those digested food, whether glucose or galactose, whether fatty acid or glycerol, whether amino acid, they must be absorbed by our body. And we have discussed about this intestinal villi, and intestinal villi increases the surface area for digestion. Very clear or not? Very clear? No problem. And they reaches the blood circulation, reaches the blood. How they reach the blood? Means they are absorbed, first they are sent to the liver. Okay, they are absorbed, they are sent to the liver, and then first reach to the liver and absorb food reaches liver, and which is the blood, which is the duct through which absorbed food reaches liver, that is hepatic portal vein. Hepatic portal vein. By hepatic portal vein. Try to understand. This is the liver, largest gland of our body, and digested food are sent by the help of hepatic portal vein, HPV. By the help of hepatic portal vein, these things are reached to the liver. Now, why it reaches to the liver? What liver will do? That part is important. Fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid, fat is converted, changed to emulsified fat, and at last the end product is fatty acid and glycerol. And fatty acids and glycerol are kept by the liver. They are stored, means fatty acid and they absorbed into the lymph vessel. It is reached to the liver. And this amino acid and this amino acid and glucose, all things, amino acid, simple sugar, glucose, galactose, they reach to the liver. And what liver does? Oh, that part I will discuss later on. Liver keeps some part and some part it sends back. We will discuss after a while, but before that we are discussing about the fatty acid and glycerol. They are absorbed into the lymph vessel, and lymph vessel lacteal we have discussed, where while we were discussing about the intestinal villi. And as we have got blood vessel in our body, we have also got lymph vessel. If you remember, in the tissue chapter we must have discussed about the fluid connective tissue, and those fluid connective tissues are blood and lymph. So some part reaches to blood and some part reaches to lymph. Blood flows in blood vessel and lymph flows in lymph vessel. Very clear or not? As we have network of blood in our body, blood vessel in our body, we have also got lymph vessel. And this fatty acids and fats, fatty acid and glycerol goes to the lymph vessel. Now, dear children, suppose I am eating now. After what time this food will be completely digested? It depends on the nature of the food, but average is 4 hours. After 4 hours, the process of digestion is completed. Very clear? Now, small intestine part is clear. Small intestine the important part of the food is absorbed and is sent to blood vessel and lymph vessel. What happened to the other part? See here. Stomach, small intestine, and here this is the duodenum, ileum and cecum. Duodenum, ileum and duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Three parts of the small intestine. Here, see here, small intestine ends in a blind pouch. This is the blind pouch where it goes. It meets a blind pouch. Here it is blind pouch, and this is the vermiform appendix. Now, dear children, from here the large intestine starts, and you can see large intestine. It will come here. This is vermiform appendix, and sometimes due to inflammation in this appendix, a disease known as appendicitis is caused. Right side, see, if I am standing like this, my right side is this, right hand is this, and right side of the abdomen is the appendix. And due to inflammation, the disease known as appendicitis is caused, and only surgery is the remedy. After surgery, doctor removes it. This is a vestigial organ. Vestigial organ means of no work. This is the organ which has no work in our body. But if it is working, we can digest cellulose. We can't digest cellulose. Means cellulose is present in the green plants. You know that plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, and cellulose we can't digest. It acts as a roughage in our body. If we are able to digest cellulose, it means our appendix is functional, like other herbivorous animal, elephant, buffalo. They eat green grass only, and how they are powerful. But thinking that elephant can graze grass or leaves and can become so strong, why we can't? We can't, because our vermiform appendix is not functional. Earlier it was functional, now it became a vestigial organ, means such organ which has no use. Very clear? So now, the undigested part of the food, everything is not digested in a small intestine. Undigested part of the food is left over, and the important component of the food is absorbed by the small intestine and is reached to blood vessel and lymph vessel. And here in a large intestine, nothing is digested. Try to understand, large intestine, nothing is digested. No digestion takes place because the process of digestion ends in the small intestine. Then what happens? Absorption of water. Absorption of water. Water is absorbed from the undigested food. As a small intestine has got three parts, there are three parts of large intestine also. What are those three parts? Those three parts are cecum, colon, and rectum. So this blind pouch where the small intestine joins the large intestine, this part is the cecum. These folded parts are the colon, and this is the colon, and last part is the rectum. What happens in this large intestine? From the undigested food, water is absorbed. If water will be absorbed from the undigested part of the food, it will become semi-solid, and that semi-solid part is stored in the rectum. Stored in the rectum. And from time to time, especially in the morning, by the help of anus, this undigested food is thrown out, and that process is called as defecation, and that is the part which is thrown out is the feces. The part which is thrown out, that is the feces, and the process of throwing out, that is called defecation. And one more thing which I have to discuss, feces, we have discussed, yellowish in color. Whatever color food we eat, that is yellowish, and that is due to the bile. But sometimes a little bit there may be change in color because different type of food we eat, and feces, the quality of feces depends on person to person. Try to understand what I am teaching. The feces may vary from person to person, and slight change in color is also there. What is there in the feces? Let us see. Maximum water, 75% water and 25% solid part. Try to understand. Feces, 75% is water. 75% is water and 25% solid part, which is thrown out, and water is also thrown out, solid part, and roughage, protein is also there, a little bit 2 to 3%, and fat is also there, 10 to 20%. Okay, and one more thing, as the process of defecation takes place, here in anus, one muscle is there, that is sphincter muscle. Sphincter muscle means circular muscle, round muscle, and due to this round circular muscle, try to understand, due to round circular muscle or sphincter muscle, this is the last part of the rectum, this is the rectum, and this is anus. And here, this muscle is the circular muscle, sphincter muscle. And due to this muscle, the anus is closed. Due to the presence of sphincter muscle, the anus is closed. And here, the undigested food is stored, and it is pressed from inside. As it is pressed from inside, the anus opens and some part of feces come out, and again the anus is closed. Try to understand. It never happens that once the anus opens and all the waste product comes out. It never happens. The anus is closed, it is pressed from inside, it opens and some part of the feces comes out, again it is closed. Very clear? And that is due to the presence of sphincter muscle in the anus. Now, One more thing I will discuss. What I will discuss, that if you will this toilet area or the if you will cross, it will smell badly or the faces smells badly. Whatever you are eating doesn't matter. Nice food you are eating, but the smell, the odor of the faces is very bad. And why that type of smell is there, why that type of odor is there? That is due to the bacterial action. Certain bacteria are present in our large intestine. Certain bacteria are present. They are not harmful bacteria. They are harmless bacteria. And those harmless bacteria are present in our large intestine. Bacteria present in large intestine gives that odor, the smell. Why? Due to bacterial action. Bacterial, better to write bacterial action in large intestine gives bad odor, not good smell, bad odor. Odor means smell to the faces. Very clear or not? Why the faces smells bad? That I have discussed. Very clear. Now absorption of food and throwing out of food, that we have discussed. One more thing, assimilation of food. And tomorrow we will discuss about the assimilation of food and certain experiments related to digestion we will discuss today up to this much. Thank you very much.